What's going on, guys? It's your man Ed Hayes here, back for another video. And in this one, I'm going to be reacting to a new video that RJ Bates just released titled Stop Cold Calling. I'm like, hold on now. RJ Bates is trying to cause some controversy in the industry. So I wanted to check this video out for myself. So I figured that we can just check it out together on the channel, see what he's talking about. It's about 15 minutes long or whatever, so we may not react to the entire video. I'll have the link down below if you want to check out the full thing for yourself. But let's not waste any time. Let's see what RJ is talking about. All right, so we're here on the video now. Let's go ahead and check it out, and I'll just kind of pop in from time to time as he's talking, kind of see what he's talking about. Let's get to it.
What's up, guys? RJ Bates III here, and I want to tell you to stop cold calling.
Sheesh.
If you are new and trying to get into real estate investing or wholesaling, and you think that cold calling is the best lead generating activity for you, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. So here are my thoughts. There's this theory, this rumor in wholesaling and real estate investing that you need to get your reps in. And in order to get your reps in, you need to be cold calling because it's the cheapest and most economical way to do lead generating to get started in wholesaling. But here's the thing. Cold calling is difficult. It's hard. You're literally, by all definitions, reaching out to the coldest leads possible.
Facts.
And then asking them if they want to sell their house. You don't even know if they want to sell their house. So you're just choosing different motivating factors like vacant, pre-foreclosure, tax defaults, liens, code violations, all of these secret lists that we all have. It's all a bunch of BS, in my opinion.
Oh, shit.
I've shown you guys how to pull a list over and over and over again here on the YouTube channel. The facts are, we are making assumptions that these people need to sell their house. And so then based off of that, we're then reaching out and we're asking if they have a house that they want to sell. And the majority of the time, the answer is no. Now, to me, I don't see how that is a valuable rep when you're getting started. It's literally like lifting weights without having any weight. There was nothing there to give you resistance. The answer was no.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie, that's powerful as hell. He said it's like doing like working out or whatever with no weights is no resistance or whatever. I like that a lot or whatever if you really think about it. Granted, like realistically, it probably is a lot of resistance in terms of people like kind of cursing you out and stuff like that. It can still be pretty demoralizing at the same time, but it's not necessarily a good lead, if you will, or whatever, because you're not coming from a position of power. If you're cold calling, when you're cold calling, you're just hoping and wishing that you're gonna find somebody that actually wants to sell. And so if you're just getting started out here, I think I agree with RJ that, you know, you really want to get out here with like a higher quality lead than just quote unquote trying to get the reps in, when in all reality, the majority of the people that you're going to talk to when you're cold calling are going to be people that don't actually want to sell. There's going to be people that, you know, are going to be cursing you out, or they're going to have all the leverage. They're going to be like, where you get my phone number from, and things of that nature. So it makes total sense. Let's continue.
They don't want to sell. That didn't help you. You don't need to be getting your reps in. You need to be closing deals.
Yes,
you need to be generating revenue. You need to be talking to people that you know for a fact need to sell their house. A closable deal. Some would even say a lay down deal. So let's break it down. Let's make a random assumption that you have a budget of $1,200 a month. Okay, $1,200. Well, unless you want to literally hand dial from your cell phone, which would be ridiculous, and your number is going to get marked as spam very quickly.
Facts.
You need to have a dialer. Cheapest dialer is what, $100, $99 a month. Okay, so now you're down to $1,100. Well, you need to pull data, and you need a comping software. So you're probably going to choose either batch leads or PropStream to pull your data and have comping software. That's a minimum of another 100. So now you're down to 1,000. Okay. So let's assume you don't need any more money inside of your business. This is all you're going to do. You're going to have a dialer, and you're going to have your comping software and your data. And let's just assume you're getting free phone numbers, but you do have to buy phone numbers for your dialer. But for the sake of easy math for me in this story that we're building, let's just assume you're left with $1,000. So if you get the cheapest quality skip tracing that I know of for 10 cents of skip trace, you can get 10,000 records skip trace for your $1,000. So now you have 10,000 records that are skip traced. So as you upload that into your dialer, you're going to naturally just not get all of those skip trace. You're going to lose some of those in the data transfer, as well as when you scrub out the do not call registry, you're going to lose some of that data right out of the gates. And then when you start calling, the vast majority of these phone numbers are either going to be incorrect, go to voicemail. You're never going to get a connection to a seller. Okay. Let's say you talk to 25% of the people. That's 2,500 people. Well, the majority of those are not going to want to sell. They're going to ask you, how'd you get my phone number? Why are you calling me? Why would you assume that I need to sell?
Yep.
So again, your daily revenue generating activities so far are leaving voicemails, calling wrong phone numbers. Then when you finally get someone to answer, they just immediately tell you no. Let's assume we stumble on some that do want to sell. This is a very cold outreach. You're saying, hey, do you want to sell? They're going to say, sure. What's your offer? How much would you give me? And so from that perspective, it's going to be one of the more difficult ways to close a deal, because they're going to come at you as, hey, you are pursuing me instead of the seller pursuing you. It naturally doesn't put you in the buyer's seat as with as strong of a posture as they do if they come to you.
That's
okay. They're not broadcasting that their house is for sale. You're reaching out to them. So it naturally becomes an even more difficult close on you. Now, on the flip side, what we could have done is taken that $1,000 and we could have bought 10 leads from LeadZolo and had 10 verified sellers that have already admitted that they want to sell and had quality conversations. We could have gone speed lead. We could have bought leads there. Or you could have saved that $1,000 and you could have gone out and you could have found for sale by owners on Zillow, just like I did. And you could be attacking leads that already are verified that they want to sell their house.
Boom. I swear, like, I super agree with you, RJ. Salute to you, my brother, for real. Like I was literally just having a conversation with a client of mine. Salute to Tyrone as well. Just having a conversation. I was telling him, I was like, look, bro, it's 2024. You don't want to be out there just calling thousands and thousands of people. Like, there are companies out here that will literally just sell you the leads that want to sell. And, like, I think in his mind, he was thinking, well, it's just scary to invest that money. So I kind of want to get those practice reps in, like something that RJ is basically saying or whatever. But I have to tell him, like, look, bro, like, realistically, you're going to spend the money regardless. Like, you'll just end up spending on softwares and skip tracing and stuff like that or whatever. But you could have took the same money and, like RJ says, like, actually be talking to verified sellers, like just buying leads. I literally just made a video about this. Check it out on my channel, talking about how I just buy leads from iSpeed to Lead. And there's other companies out there, like he just mentioned, LeadZolo, and other companies as well, that you could just buy these motivated sellers from. You know for sure that these people need to sell. They see like a TikTok ad or a YouTube ad, et cetera, and they fill out a form, and boom, you get those leads like automatically. Like iSpeed to Leads has like a whole marketplace and stuff like that or whatever. Definitely check out that video if y'all are interested. But I do agree that you don't want to just be out here just busting down a bunch of phone calls or whatever. Like, it's cool and stuff. Honestly, I think it could be more demoralizing and threatening to your actual growth as a wholesaler, because I think, like, realistically with cold calling, the cash conversion cycle is probably looking like 3 to 4 months on how long it's going to take for you to convert those cold calls into actual deals. It could be like that, it could be less, don't get me wrong, but this is one of the longest cash conversion cycles that we have in the wholesale space. So if you're just doing that, you're kind of putting yourself behind the 8 ball. Realistically, you want to be in the power position. You don't want to be the one that's just out here begging someone to sell their property. You want to be the person that someone else is coming to you begging you to buy their house. Let's get back to it.
Which, if you go into the closures formula, what's step number 1? Verify that they want to sell. They still need to sell. Well, these lead generating activities already give us that answer. We're just asking just to verify, and then we're immediately rolling into what's your asking price. People have asked me time and time again, when you're cold calling, RJ, does the closures formula work? It does. You just have to amend a couple of parts of it. So instead of saying, hey, I'm just reaching out about 123 Main Street, you entered it on my website, are you still looking to sell that property? You have to say, hey, I'm calling about 123 Main Street, just curious if you're interested in selling that property. And then they say yes, or maybe, or they say, what's your offer? And then you say, well, what's your asking price? Now, the difference here is that when we go through the closures formula on an inbound lead, they normally give us the price. On a cold call, because we have reached out to them, we naturally have put them in a position of power, and they're more likely to not give it to us. So what does that mean? That means throughout the conversation, we're going to have to be asking a lot more questions, taking more time. And if you're newer, what is one of the things that you're probably not comfortable in? comping and analyzing a deal, understanding where does an end buyer buy, and truly knowing what your offer needs to be. See, it's one thing if you get an inbound lead and you pull up your comps and you're seeing all of your comps in the low 200s, and a seller says, I'll sell my house right now for $75,000. You're feeling pretty decent. You know, if you hit them with our closing line, you could probably get them down into the 60s, maybe into the 50s, and you've got yourself a good deal. Now, assume that's a cold call and they won't give you that number. Now you're trying to reverse engineer it, trying to determine what that after repair value is. You're trying to determine where does your end buyer buy. You're not understanding how to come up with repairs. This is why these questions are constantly in our Facebook group, The Vault, being asked. Hey, I've got a lead here, but I don't understand where to comp it. Hey, I've got this lead here, but I'm not sure what to put down for the repairs. Because these are the biggest issues that new wholesalers face. And on top of that, this theory, this rumor that has been spread amongst the wholesaling industry that newer wholesalers, the first thing that you should do for lead generation is cold call, is we're putting you in the most difficult position possible to try to close a deal. Mm-hmm. And who needs to close a deal more than the person just getting started? Nobody. You don't have operating capital. You don't have that revenue coming in. You need it. Plus, you need the proof of concept. You need wins from a mental perspective. If I had to sit down on a dialer all day, every day, and get my teeth kicked in and get told no, 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 it's going to be a struggle to keep staying consistent as a tree, showing up every single day and saying, here's my why, here's my purpose. I don't know if I can achieve my why and my purpose with what I'm doing when it comes to cold calling. Now, I'm not saying real estate investors and wholesalers should not cold call. I believe in outsourcing cold calling to virtual assistants and it being a part of your business plan when you're established. You have the ability to outsource it to a virtual assistant to eliminate all of the voicemails, wrong phone numbers, no's, and get you to the yeses, just like inbound leads. Just like if you're looking at for sale by owners, at least we know that they want to sell. At least you can get your reps in that way because at least you're not having to waste reps with getting told, no, I don't want to sell my house. That's not a rep. That's pretend. That's an excuse. People are giving you so you can go out and do something. You can be busy. See, I don't.
Hey, I think I'm gonna finish like I think I'm gonna like leave that right there or whatever. You all can go finish the rest of the video on your own accord after this. But guys, what do y'all think about this though, man? I do agree with a lot of what RJ is saying in general. I think it's very, very interesting that there's so many people out here talking about wholesaling and stuff like that or whatever, but specifically cold calling. I think that everything isn't about just cold calling. Like you have to, and like you say, like, hey, look, they out here giving you busy work. Like, damn, that's deep, man, when you think about it. It's been like one of the industry staples in terms of how to get out here and market when you're a wholesaler and stuff like that. But if you think about it in 2024, this is just not the best method. And honestly, it's probably never been the best method to get out there. Very often you hear me talking about doing JV deals. You'll hear me talking about texting and things like that. But cold calling is definitely one of those things that is going to test you. It's going to challenge you to actually make these thousands of calls, to reach out to so many people and get cursed out, be demoralized, and have to keep pushing. And like RJ said, I'm totally with the concept of cold calling technically or whatever, but that's something that you typically want to be outsourcing to someone else. I can't imagine doing something as tedious as just calling hundreds and hundreds of people still to this day or whatever. I could never. That's how I started off. That's exactly how I learned how to wholesale, is just call a shit ton of people. Let's throw enough stuff up at the wall and let's just see what sticks. And really, in reality or whatever, I would just beat my head up against a wall realistically for years, like doing one of the toughest, most difficult, arduous tasks in the entire space until I started transitioning over into texting, into doing PPC leads and things like that or whatever. My very first lead was a PPC lead, right? So, but I didn't stick with it, unfortunately, or whatever. And now it's like this big thing and stuff. It's kind of interesting. But either way, though, it's like, there's so many different ways to get out here and get a deal. Guys, treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Don't put yourself behind the 8 ball to begin with. If you're going to be starting out here as a brand new wholesaler, do yourself a favor. And if you have like a budget of like 1,200, if you got over $1,000 or something like that, just start buying leads. Do yourself a favor. Or if you want to kind of get some practice reps in, go over to places like for sale by owner sites, or possibly even like for rent by owner sites. A lot of those people are going to say no, but at least with the for sale by owners, for sure that these people want to sell. They've already said that they want to sell. You could check out the major platforms like Zillow, Realtor, Redfin, Trulia, things like that. And you could also check out places like for sale by owner.com. So just do a little bit of research, like if you want to get some practice reps in or whatever. But I strongly agree with RJ when he says stop cold calling, especially if you're just getting started. If you are going to be cold calling, outsource that to a VA. I mean, I can understand you wanting to get some reps in or something like that, just so you can most efficiently train your virtual assistant. That's okay. But outside of that or whatever, it's like you need to be out here actually talking to people. You need to be shooting shots. And the only way that you're shooting shots is if you're actually making offers. There's so many people out here that have already raised their hand saying, hey, I want to sell. So if you're just sitting back, reaching out to the highest hanging fruit instead of the low hanging fruit, why are you making your life so hard? Realistically, if you're going to get started, get out here, chase the low-hanging fruit. This is where the deals are. Like, you can't make this stuff up. You've got listed properties. You got for sale by owners. You got pay-per-lead companies. And you got pay-per-click services like Google that you could just run ads and people will literally come to you, or they'll at least want a sale instead of getting cursed down by somebody's grandma all day. Anyway, though, guys, what do y'all think, though, man? Drop me a comment down below and let me know, like, are y'all doing any pay-per-lead services yourselves? Are y'all still cold calling? How has cold calling been working out for you? If you are cold calling, do you have a VA? Are you just personally cold calling? I'm very curious what y'all have to say in the comment box down below. And like I said, like, are y'all using pay-per-lead services? I know that we are. That's all that we will use going forward, either pay-per-click or pay-per-lead. We do a ton of that, and that's about it. I'm not trying to be talking to a whole bunch of people that's just cursing me out. Granted, I wouldn't be doing it anyway. I would just put a virtual assistant right there. But we don't even target cold call leads anymore at this point because it's just so many. You got to get so many reps, and you got to pay for so many hours of someone's labor. I'll just buy 2, 3, 4 leads for that same amount and actually end up getting a deal out of that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, though, guys, man, drop me a comment down below. Hit the like button for me. Share it with other people if you found this helpful. Salute to you again, RJ Bates, man. I do appreciate the value that you bring to the community. And guys, man, if y'all like videos like this where, I'm reacting to other wholesalers' content and stuff like that, definitely check out this playlist right here. I got a few of them right and ready to go for you. And until next time, guys, we out.